On to you, Scorpios. So this is going to be a very long video for you, Scorpios. I'm just going to let you know there will be the tarot readings right now, and then on the flip side, right, if you keep watching the video, it will be the Why I Love Scorpio video. Yeah, that's actually already done. So please make sure to continue to watch the whole video all the way through. There's a link in the comment section below called the Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which it has all the ways you can support me, so I can most definitely keep the channel going. Really appreciate it if you did. Thank you in advance. So, or I should say in advance. So for you Scorpios, you have the Seven of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Two of Swords. So the Seven of Wands represents realization. It represents a lot of corrections that you Scorpios are going to have to make in your life. And the corrections are the Two of Cups to the Two of Swords. Number one, a lot of you Scorpios are going to have to change the way that you perceive relationships. Relationships are not trash. Relationships are not garbage to say that every last relationship is going to be that way. That's what it is that I'm trying to say, because that's not true at all. The truth is that the answer is actually somewhere in the middle. The thing is that a lot of people are, like I said, a lot of people are dysfunctional. And I've said it in so many of my other Scorpio videos. When you are striving to become someone better, and you are successful at it, you are going to interact with all kinds of people, whether they are successful themselves and healthy, or whether they are dysfunctional and they are unhealthy. Okay, now just because you attract unhealthy people does not automatically mean that you're doing something that's stop. That's sign language. That's shame, insult, guilt, need to be right. You know. And why I'm saying that in the first place is because of the Two of Swords. You have to watch this mentality. Not everybody is coming to you thinking that you are worthless or that you are a poo putt. That's not the truth. Okay. What it is that you Scorpios have to understand that, like I told the other signs, you have to become better at being able to identify when somebody's wasting your time without being paranoid. And how it is that you're able to do that is, like I said, by sitting back and relaxing and paying attention to what is happening around you, being attentive to your surroundings. But when I start talking about being laid back a little bit more, that's when because everybody wants to be this alpha and active and in charge and bossy. You're gonna do what I want you to do. It's like, all right, okay, stupid. All right, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be real with you Scorpios. I can't stand anybody like that. You know, specifically, I can't stand people who are like that, who are not doing it for a purpose. Like, if you're doing it for a purpose, okay, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're just being bossy and trying to be an alpha over a slice of pizza, you know, with giving context, are you starving? No. So this person hasn't eaten in 4, 5, 8 hours. So why don't you just let them get the last slice of pizza? You'll order another pizza if you want. No, because it's like, yo, is it really about the principle of you being hungry and eating, or is it about you just want somebody to boss around? And the Two of Cups represents the value that people bring to you, is what it is that you're skeptical about. The Fool and the Three of Cups is about, well, you have to give everything context. That's another layer of the game. That's another layer of it. You have to. This is New York, so you're gonna hear stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, so the Fool and the Three of Cups represents how it is that you Scorpios have to become okay and versatile. And what I mean by that is the idea that the idea that on another level, okay, on another layer, you have to not really you have to not really care about whether or not somebody whether or not a person likes you, right? Because you can get too caught up in the politics, which we don't do over here on this channel, but you can get too caught up with the politics of you hope this person likes you. And while you want a person to like you and like you and like you this and like you that and just love you, and it's completely thrown through a whirlwind or whatnot, for you or whatnot, people will unfortunately try to take advantage of you when you do stuff like that, when you want someone to like you a little bit too much. And I've talked about this before, like, you need to take a step back and really pay attention. That's the other layer of it, because if a person truly likes you, Scorpio, they're looking at you in principle. They're looking at you in value. They don't care about all this given context, meaningless stuff. And that's what it is I'm talking about. What I mean when I say in context, I'm talking about it from the perspective of, all of this, you can't turn to the side, all this goofy stuff that these pickup artists be telling me, turn to the side, because if you turn to the side too fast, it means that you desperate or whatnot, or whatever the case may be or whatnot. So the person's going to judge you super harshly. Listen, if a person is going to judge you, Scorpio, for the color of your shoes, the fact that, you don't have Jordan 1s on, you don't have some sort of, gator shoes on, made from crocodiles or alligators and stuff like this. Stop. Then it means that these are the type of people that you shouldn't want to have around you in the first place. So the Three of Cups represent, those are usually the type of people who are going to be very shallow anyway. And they're going to try to make their shallowness sound like it's something deep. Oh, they can't pick you, Scorpios, because of the fact that, you're not wearing, Jordan sneakers. And it's like, yeah, what does that have to do with anything? Well, the Jordans show that you could survive off that. It's like, yo, there's gangsters, there's people. Listen, I'm not even going to get too deep into that, but there's gangsters in my neighborhood right now who wear Jordans and they be on welfare. Like, cut it out, fam. Like, stop. What are we talking about right now? The Page of Cups and the King of Swords now represents how, so a lot of you Scorpios are learning to grow up. A lot of you are growing up in the sense that your perception, the way that you perceive relationships, how you go about getting into them, your taste for a relationship has changed. It really has. You're not young anymore. A lot of you Scorpios are not 15, 16 and stuff like this, where you didn't really understand what love was, or you didn't really understand the other side of love. You understood the puppy love, but you didn't understand the other side of love because you were too young and inexperienced enough to understand that hardships come with that. Now that you Scorpios do understand what hardships come with that, you understand the other side, and it's not just puppy love. I'm gonna have to tell you, Scorpios, not too many people are gonna be able to rock with you, because like it is I said before, if you have Scorpio in your chart, if you have Virgo in your chart, if you have Scorpio in your chart, if you have Aries in your chart, okay, as far as in these four placements, if you have it as your sun, your moon, your ascendant, or Venus, you are a child of Set. And what I mean when I say a child of Set is that it means that when it comes to things like love, it means that you're going to have it because this isn't just one thing. This represents a whole lot of other things. If you are a child of Set, which you Scorpios are, because you have Scorpio as your sun sign, right? Sun, moon, ascendant, or Venus, it means that love is going to be very difficult for you to get into. And it's by design, because it shows it's a lot of power. So it adds on to you Scorpio's power. And what I mean by that is it shows you who's really honest about love, who's not, who understands love, who doesn't. The ignorance, the cognitive dissonance, the intellectual dishonesty, the intellectually honest. The people who legitimately want love, or the people who talk trash and they say that they really want love. And that's going to give you a whole new, different perspective on it, because you'll be able to see it for what it is. You got a lot of people who are willing to pay for love. You know, you got a lot of people who, you know, they young and they coming up and they don't really understand the other side of it. But then what that pertains to you is the Queen of Wands. You see the hypocrisy. And people are only going to be able to rock with you if they are truly cut out for it. So these types of placements, honestly, it is rough, right? But it's rough for a reason. It's rough because it gives you a level of protection. You can't get into love, or it's harder for people who get those 4 zodiac signs. Again, Scorpio, Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? Because of the fact that Scorpio, Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, because it's hard because that's the protection. So other people can fall in love easier, because falling in love and being in love are 2 different things. Being in love is the healthy version. Falling in love is trickery. You got to trick yourself and, use cognitive dissonance, or a person has to come in and make themselves seem like they're so good to you when they're really dysfunctional. And then the 4 of Swords, the 4 of Swords and the Moon is about how, so now the 4 of Swords represents, it's up to you, Scorpios, to put an end to that cognitive dissonance, though. It's up to you. The Moon is about how when you see that type of stuff happening to you, disappear, right? And if you are but I should say before you're disappearing, don't just disappear. See, what makes it dysfunctional if you were to disappear is that people would be right if they say that if you just disappearing just for the sake of disappearing, because you want to play games or you want to get a person hooked on you, right? That's when you're being dysfunctional. But the reason why you would want to disappear, right, is because you have detected some form of dysfunction that the person has that you're trying to get away from. So let's clarify some of these cards. So you detected a dysfunction that you're trying to get away from, and you realize that talking to them is not going to work. So you just ghost because you realize that it's futile. It's a waste of your time. So let's clarify the 3 of Cups. You have the Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Chariot. Yeah. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is very interesting. To clarify that, the Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, it's because people are not really sincere with this thing. And you Scorpios are most definitely right. People are not actually really sincere when it comes to getting into relationships. They try to have you, the truth is, they try to have you convinced that you'll be on some puppy love stuff when y'all are teenagers. But it almost never really works out like that, because as we get older and we become adults, a lot of people have ulterior motives. They don't know how to be pure of heart. They don't know how to, that's another level of it. They don't know how to actually interact and be in a situation where, they don't have an ulterior motive. You know what I mean? That one that causes harm. That, that their ulterior motive is to be in love, not fall in love, be in love. Their ulterior motive is to get to know you and then decide whether or not they're going to continue on and decide where this is going to go or where this is going to lead to for them. And a lot of people don't have that capacity. The Chariot and the 6 of Pentacles, they're looking for a payday. They're looking for somebody to subsidize stuff. So what that means for you Scorpios is that, once again, and I want to really, really stress this, you Scorpios are actually on the right path. Your singlehood is actually the path that you need to be on as of now, because as much as you don't necessarily personally like it, it is divine protection, because you got a lot of people out here that are users, and that if you're not paying attention, they will use you. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Right now, take the time to help heal any dysfunctions and trauma that you've got going on with you. That's pretty much it. Appreciate you. Now, stay tuned for the next segment of the video. So I am very tired, but at the same time, I am most definitely going to go ahead and make this video. Why is it that I love Scorpio? So I love Scorpio because originally the zodiac signs that I personally thought that I would end up really being with is Aquarius, Virgo, Scorpio, Cancer, Crabs, Aries, and Scorpio, if I didn't say Scorpio already. Anyway, I love Scorpios. I like Scorpios, and I love Scorpios because, honestly, because of the intensity. Really, when I was learning about Scorpio, and the video was talking about how it is that Scorpios are very intense, I was over here listening to that, and I was just nodding my head like, that sounds good. I kind of like that. And then not only that too, but the more that I thought about it in my life, my connection that I have to Scorpios, as far as, you know, some of my homeboys was Scorpios. We was cool. They did some stupid stuff, but you know what I mean? They was cool. How it is that, you know, they looked out for me. You know, they're very humorous. Scorpios are very humorous people. A lot of times people say, oh, you know, a Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, you know, a Scorpio XYZ. It's so serious. It's like, listen, listen, this is why it is I say that you got to watch my channel. You're not going to hear this on a lot of other people's channels. They're going to talk to you about the traditional, no disrespect to them, but they're going to talk to you about the traditional things that they normally do when it comes to Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio is serious. Listen, let me explain something to you. A Scorpio can and most definitely is serious. But when a Scorpio really likes you, when a Scorpio sees you as a homie, when a Scorpio sees you as a family member, someone that they can trust overall, they are some of the biggest jokesters in the world. They will have you really blowing milk out your nose for real in real life. I love the sense of humor that a lot of the Scorpios have. And as far as a relationship type of stuff, like I said before, Scorpio was one of the zodiac signs that was legitimately on my list of zodiac signs for me to actually be with long term. You know, back when I wanted to get married, right? This was like years ago, back in 2012, back when I wanted to get married, you know, Scorpio was one of those zodiac signs where I thought about it. You know, now granted, I wasn't seeing any Scorpio, but a Scorpio was something that I wanted to be married to at one point, because not only that, but the mystery. You know, Scorpios have a lot of mystery to them. They have a lot of hidden gems. You know, you get to know these people, you find out that they come from, you know, rough upbringings, and they, because of the fact that a lot of them, they come from a lot of rough upbringings or humble beginnings. Not a lot, not all, obviously, but they come from very intense situations. You can gain a lot of insight from that if you have wisdom yourself. A lot of Scorpios will help you as long as you're worthy. See, this is the thing that Scorpio and Capricorn have in common, right? They blend, right? This is the thing Scorpio and Capricorn have in common, that they will help you. Scorpio, this is another thing that they're not going to tell you about Scorpios too. Scorpios are very big helpers, but you have to be worthy. Scorpio is not just going to help you just for the sake of helping you out. You've got to be worthy. There has to be some form of return, but the return is not something, if a Scorpio rocks with you, the return is not going to be something that's off the wall. It's not going to be something that's so crazy to the point where it's just crazy to even ask. It's just taxing of the person that they're asking to do it. And the thing about it is that a lot of people, for the most part, can't even follow through with what it is that the Scorpio and them agreed upon. So, of course, the Scorpio is going to wonder why. Now, the Scorpios do tend to play games, but really it's because, and I don't excuse that, but really it's because a lot of the Scorpios very much so are afraid to really kind of experience the games that you're giving to them. So in other words, Scorpios really want to self-preserve, right? And not only that too, but when you really look at it for what it is, for the most part, a Scorpio is really more of a detriment to themselves if you really understand what it is that you're looking at and you really understand what it is that you're watching out for. A Scorpio really is a detriment, most likely, most of all, to themselves. If a Scorpio really does want to be loyal, they're some of the most loyal people in the world. You know, they, just like Virgo, they will not cheat. A lot of Scorpios very much so got the bag. You know, they're the 8th zodiac sign. So the number 8 is inherently tied to wealth and finances, and, you know, even when it comes to romantic fun, if you know what I mean, right? So these are all reasons why it is that I would look at a Scorpio, right? And when I was dating them, I would want to be with them. But the problem that I was having personally, me, with Scorpios was the idea that they don't trust anybody. And I mean, my gosh, I mean, at some point you have to trust somebody if you're going to call yourself being in a relationship with somebody, right? But other than that, I mean, if you know how to dial in to what a Scorpio's got going on, you can make very good relationships. Scorpio can pretty much get along with any of the zodiac signs if they so choose to, and if they so learn how to kind of control some of their emotional internal turmoil. But another reason too why it is that I love Scorpios is the fact that Scorpios know how to go internal. You know, a lot of times we're living in a world today where most people live externally. And what I mean by that is most people are so caught up with friends and celebrity and competition, trying to be seen at party is seen. A lot of Scorpios know how to just kick it a nickel and don't try to go out, do too much and wild out, do all this other type of stuff. A lot of Scorpios know how to chill out and really can quiet down and relax. Problem though is with Scorpios, as much as I love them, is that the Scorpio is an internal volcano though, right? But they think that you don't love them, which is kind of cute, but at the same time, they got to chill out with that, right? But as long as you're able to show a Scorpio, you know, you do care for them, and that you actually are there for them, and that you think, right? Oh my gosh, Scorpios, that's another thing too. Scorpios, right? This is one thing a lot of people not going to say. Scorpios love smart people. Scorpios are not necessarily going to tell you that, because they'll still, you know, like I said before, Scorpio is no joke. They are practical. So there's a level of practicality to them. So if you make yourself stupid, a Scorpio will use that stupidity to their advantage. So a Scorpio loves intelligent people. Now they're going to kind of be taken back at how much you know, if you know. But yeah, this is why it is I love Scorpio.